Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, Honorable Prime Minister, Honorable Leader of Opposition, Honorable Cabinet Ministers, Honorable members of this August House, and of course the ladies and gentlemen of the gallery. Namaste and Sat Sri Akal to all of you. It is with great honor that I rise to speak in response to His Excellency the President's inspiring, visionary opening address of 2025 session of Parliament. His Excellency has reminded us of the solemn duty to serve with integrity, to uphold inclusivity, and drive our nation forward with purpose and resilience. His call for transformational leadership resonates deeply with the multi-ethnic affairs in the sugar industry. We recognize that the sugar industry is not just an economic driver, but a pillar of our communities supporting thousands of livelihoods. In line of His Excellency's vision, the government remains steadfast in ensuring that our sugarcane farmers receive the best possible returns and have a sustainable future. Mr. Speaker, I know I'm the last speaker, and there's no rush for us to go home, right? So if you can allow me to extend my speech for another few hours, it will be better. Anyway, Mr. Speaker, before I go on the speech proper, I'd like to actually come on a few comments and observations I'd like to make about people or the members of opposition have been attacking us on this side of the government. One of the things that I've seen was cheap political point scoring. They kept on saying there's an increase of VAT. There's an increase of VAT. They have not really dissected what the increase was on. Now there's 20 things, 20 items, 22 has got VAT, zero VAT. Right? And I'll tell you what, as a supermarket operator, I'll let you know what's happening in a supermarket floor. There's three categories of customers we have. One that only buys the basic items, which makes a $50 grocery. And those are the basic items that these people are buying because they cannot afford anything extra. And those are the items are VAT-free. Now then we have a second category of customers who are with $250 grocery shopping. They have the basic items and they have some luxuries. And then we have a third tier of customers who are buying groceries up to $500 plus other things. So we are not charging VAT to the people who are buying the basic items. Now, why shouldn't you, who are now collecting $100,000 in salary, cannot be charged VAT on the luxury items? We have to charge people according to what they spend, full stop. So don't keep talking about VAT increase, VAT increase. It has only increased on things that you can afford. Right? So the point is, don't fool the people of this country. You haven't gone to a supermarket. I think so. You go to a corner shop, by the looks of it. So, Honorable Speaker said, this is something I want the opposition to stop saying that there's a VAT increase. On the basic item, there is no increase. Full stop. Now, Mr. Speaker said, as much as I want to speak on the sugar, but I've got a lot of items that I want to rebut about the opposition that they have said about this side of the House. And one of the things Honorable Vian Pillai said about that I will not be in this House anymore after the next election. He must know the numbers I have come with 5,600 votes. And look at his record. In 2018, he only had 1,280. That's what he said. I'm going to simply answer to that. In 2018, he got 1,280 votes. In 2022, he got 971 votes. So who's going to go to Lakotuma? He's going to go to Lakotuma in next election. Mr. Speaker said, I must say that the sugar tonnage in this country has to go. Of course, it's gone up because of your government. I'll tell you one thing. We are trying to increase the production. There is 14, 15 different programs the Ministry of Sugar has done. And you'll be surprised to see a lot of increase in sugar production, especially in Vanuatu. In Vanuatu, because people are wanting to go back to farms. And in Lautoka and western side, because of commercialization of the lands, of course we cannot stop them. But still we are trying to revive the sugar industry. Now, what we actually need, there is currently sugar industry occupying 75,000 hectares of land. And what we are producing per hectare is 47 tons. What we should actually produce is 75 tons per hectare. So what we actually need is not 75,000 hectares. We only need 55,000 hectares of land to produce 4.2 million tons of cane. So that is what the reform is all about. The Speaker said, there is a lot of mention about investor confidence is falling. I'll tell you what, if a person doesn't want to do something, he'll make hundreds of reasons. That is not happening. I'll give you an example. Although I'm an investor, I'm not directly involved in business, but I'm telling you guys that in the last 2 years, my company has invested $45 million in this country. I'm telling you, and others. So you guys put your money where your mouth is. You don't have the money to go out, went back. Now, the hypocrisy in the highest order in this House has come from the opposition. What happened, Ms. Honorable Kumar and others who should know, when the motion came to increase the salary, they opposed. Then G19 opposed, or G17 opposed. Because they wanted to show the public.
Yes, Leader of the Opposition.
Order 63 does not allow us to refer to any previous voting of Parliament.
Any previous, well, that's correct.
63.
That's Honourable
Thank you very much. I can withdraw
Member,
it, and can I continue? Oh, so.
I uphold his point of order, Honourable Member. So you may not refer to any order under Order 63. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, sir. Now, coming to investor confidence again, I'll tell you there is a plot in Fletcher Road which has been on a mortgage sale by one of the financiers or one of the banks. There is, apparently, there's 15 people who have bidded for that property. If there was no investor confidence, why would they bid? So I'm saying, I'm not one of them. Okay? If I was, so what? So be what to you? So what I'll say, Mr. Singh, Mr. Speaker, say, oh, that look, what did you say? Yeah. Now, Mr. Speaker, say, I actually wanted to speak more on sugar, but a lot of things have been said about sugar, But few things that I want to mention before I go on my multi-ethnic side. You know, Mr. Speaker, say, little knowledge is very dangerous. And I'll tell you what, it's a very short memory of the last government of what the Reki Mill went through. Given the current state of FSC, we will require nearly $500 million in the next 5 years to put a new plant and equipment. Repairs and maintenance will get to some semblance of operational normalcy. Under the government's watch of Fiji First, we lost nearly 800 million through one project alone, as they all slept on the jobs. This compounded by a still outstanding 75 million to the Exim Bank of India, which was added with at least 25 million in interest cost. It was your time. Come on. Garase, you guys put him in the jail. Okay? Because of their government's incompetence, FS is now facing one of the largest corporate claims in the history of Fiji, is $31 million because of Bainimarama government's failure. FSC is facing a single employment claim of $500,000 against the legacy of that government. And this is not all, Mr. Speaker said. The truth is that FSC is bleeding left, right, and center, and this is the very people responsible for this homicide. Mr. Speaker said, let me remind Honorable Bala and William Pillai, who were both based in Ba, that the estimated total loss of the industry through reckless mismanagement, naked wastages, daylight corruption is in excess of $1 billion in the current dollar terms. Mr. Speaker said, under their own very eyes, they have seen the destruction of the industry and have not uttered a word against the destroyers of the runaway mill performance and the cane production, which was decreased from 1.26 million down to 356,000. In motor sector alone, where our Honorable Bjorn Pillai is a Sardar, the claims represent the crop has collapsed dramatically from 33,000 tons to 140,000 tons. Whom to blame them? It's your sector. You are the Sardar. You are Sardar. I'll tell you one more thing, Honorable Bjorn Pillai. As against in Lambasa, I've got 10 farms. I'm going to produce 5,000 tons of cane. That's conflict of interest. I'm simply saying that if there's a way, if there's a will, there's a way. So what I'm saying is, don't keep rattling here. The sugar industry has gone down, sugar industry has gone down. Who has to be blamed? 16 years of rule. You guys have been through. Very, very sorry to see that people don't understand the simple English, simple Hindi for that matter. If you don't understand, I can say Hindi too. All this happened under the rage of vision that did nothing. Our team of committed employees, management and board, farmers, cane harvesting, transport workers, we are putting every ounce of our energy struggling vastly to deplete the resources to revive the almost sacred industry. And yet, these ungrateful farmers and members are promoting a very negativity and a falsehood about the sugar industry in our team. Now, Mr. Speaker said, as I said earlier, Praveen Bala said that I have given notice that the farmers who are producing less should move out. And I'm still repeating that. We don't want hobby farmers. We want serious farmers in this country. Producing 50 tons of cane doesn't take you anywhere. you have to be at least 350 tons in your farm, because an average of 30 tons per acre, you bring on a 10-acre farm, you bring that. So I'm saying, don't try to politicize to the sugarcane farmers. We used to have one leader, now he's basically not in the parliament now. Each time, politics. Politics. Where did the industry end up? I'm not politicizing. And if you are cane farmer, then you understand. Honorable Prime Minister, you don't have nothing. Don't even have a stick of daruka. Forget about cane. Now, Mr. Speaker, I'm simply saying that we had promised Gross Council election. We had promised Gross Council election. It's going to happen. There is a bill coming. Now, look at the irony of it. When people wanted from opposition to say, when's the election? We are in motion to have the election. Then we hear people say from the opposition, no, don't hold elections. What do you want? But we want democracy in every angle of this country. And this is what we're starting with Sugarcane Growers Council, and of course my colleague, Minister for Urban Development, who is going to get the multi-ethnic as well. Now coming back to the mill, Reki mill. It's, as I said, it's not a matchbox project. It's got to be evaluated. We have the Food and Agricultural Organization that has presented a report, which way the sugar industry has to move forward. Right? And we are currently talking to some investors who are willing to come and set up a mill for us, because FSC doesn't have the money and doesn't have the ability to bring it itself. So please have patience. It took us 2 years to establish the right people to come and talk to us. Look, I'm telling you, if you don't understand business, please move out of the house. Do something else. Now, Mr. Speaker, as I said, Honorable Rinesh, I said, I really appreciate your presentation that you made about the drug problems in this country. And one thing you went one step further, that we should hang people, or give them death penalty. My suggestion, counter suggestion would be, let's flog them in public first, give them a bit of idea what it matters, and then next step, if they don't understand, then let's go further. But I'll tell you one thing, we have no rights in our life to give anybody the death penalty. It's only the God brings you to this world, the God will take you back. FAU, I'll share the report. Now, Mr. Speaker, now, only 2 minutes left. No.
Honorable Chairman? Yes,
Order 62.
62.
62.1, when speaking, a member must not impute improper motives for any other member. Just a clarification, Mr. Speaker, sir. I have, thank you, Honorable Minister. Just for clarity, I have mentioned about death penalty, but not in specific of hanging people. It's something that needs to be considered. That's the only clarification.
Honorable Minister, I take the point, although it's it's neither here nor there, to be very frank here. So, but take it on board in your statement, Honorable Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, I'll leave it there, but finally, I think the time is coming up. But I'll just say a few things about why why we have shortage of laborers on the farm. No, I'll talk to you later. But, Mr. Speaker, I'll tell you one thing very important has happened over the years. We had cane cutters coming from the villages. There's no laughing matter. Our cane cutters were coming from the villages. You know, they were not given proper accommodation. They were not given proper place to stay. They were treated like slaves. And today, those cane cutters from the villages, they don't want to come back to come and harvest cane. They've got their prestige. They've got their own livelihood. You treat them well, they'll treat you well. And this is the very reason we are losing our cane cutters and the manual laborers. Right? So I'm saying, I'll give you an example before I sit down, Mr. Speaker. I'll tell you what. I brought in, again I repeat this, I brought in 8 Bangladeshi workers. Together with them, I have got 4 Ethiopian workers on my farm. And we are paying them $5.50 an hour. $5.50 an hour. It's much higher than minimum wage rate. All I, because you should learn from me. You should learn from me. Okay?
Order.
Yeah. But anyway, Mr. Speaker, I'll tell you one thing. They get very uncomfortable, Mr. Speaker, because I've told them the truth. The public of Fiji are seeing you when each time you say they're seeing us. But when are we going to go and tell them that the salaries were banked in your account? The story will finish. With these words, thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, and I support the motion.